Good afternoon, listeners. This is Toll Jam. That's T-O-L-L, not T-O-E. Welcome back to Eastern Sound of Eastern Connecticut State University, WECS 90.1 FM. I'm coming back to you with some good old Japanese music. For those of you tuning in for the first time, Eastern Sound only plays Japanese music, which includes anime openings, regular Japanese songs, and of course, Vocaloid. If that's something that interests you, then please make sure that you stick around. For this broadcast of Eastern Sound, there's going to be something a little bit different than usual. I'm not going to say what it is quite yet, but it does have to do with the Vocaloid section. So make sure you stick around to find out what I'm talking about. Besides that, I have some new songs for your ears to listen to, and I think there's definitely at least a few songs from today's selection that you will definitely enjoy. Now, as for me, there's nothing new. I'd say I had some troubling news earlier in the morning. We were supposed to do a documentary, me and a partner, and it turns out that the place doesn't really do interviews. So that kind of threw a wrench in our plans, which is unfortunate because, you know, the place that we did want to interview, I'm not going to drop the name or anything like that. But the place that we did want to interview didn't really do interviews because I guess like the people there aren't really comfortable with that, which is okay, you know, not gonna knock them for that. But the manager was pretty polite. She said that, you know, we could come in and just film if we wanted to, but, you know, not to bother the customers or anything like that. Which, you know, would have been pretty awesome if we were able to do like an interview with one or two people, but it's like for a historical documentary, but you know, unfortunately we can't do that. But you know, we're looking into other avenues of you know, how we can do our project, and hopefully we have our eyes set on like a couple of other places. You know, so we weren't really 100% banking on like, you know, this one location. Which, by the way, it was like a toy store that sells like classic toys and stuff like that. It would have been, dude, me and my partner were nerding out about it when we were first discussing that, and yeah, but that's okay. It's okay. But hey, enough talking. Let's get into it. Coming up on Eastern Sound, we have Boku no Sensou, Masayume Chasing, Inferno, and 3-piece here on WECS 90.1 FM.
って日々も問うた夢は安泰な暮らしだが刺激不足上にダラダラ照らすは闇僕らの歩き慣れていた道はどこだ時はたまにシャクだがぬくもりに包まれたら本音があったシルベの方へ思い出すは優しいメロディーなぜ僕らは思考を急にやめているんだ夢は安泰な暮らしだが知識不足はにハラハラ食せる闇をすがにすがりついたまま朽ちてくんだここはゴーダの中だが傷跡がひりつきたら水面があった光の方へ手を取るは新しいメモリー夜空が分かつ白手の方へ遮るは堅苦しいセオリー永遠はないだとないんだというやっぱ苦しいねと泣いてみる風船もいつかはしぼむが割れる僕らは命の泉を守り続けて繋いでゆけ学びきれずに卒業伝えきれずに人生遊びきれずに決別めんどくさい地獄じゃあるまいして音が出る玩具も痛みを飛ばすものも全部僕にとっての宝物永遠はないだとないだという僕らは命の火が消えるその日まで歩いてゆけ影踏みの早いこと重ねて僕らは出会った話のハートかくれんぼ始まりは小さな嘘ひふみ揃って手と手をつないでも愛の言葉言えなかった消えなかった桜の花散る窓に絡まってく縄跳びあの子シャンデリアの奇跡濡れたハグプル遊びそれぞれのなくした願い取り替えて文化祭振り出し戻る場
した僕が卒業してもクラスが変わって誰かと会って奇跡と思った季節は制服着替えて続いてくってだからだよきっと321花子かすみさんオリンピアさんかすみ花子さんオリンピアかすみオリビアさん花子かすみさん花子さんオリかすみさん花子さん一斉のせせせせの大好きとねかな今のなし言葉は全部背伸びしたパレットのメモビラせせせのゆえにあれあれただ一人明日もそばに君がいればスリーピース真実せせせの大好きだなってね雨と息溶けないで手のひらほっぺたにこぼれたせせせのギュエキスあれあれ夢じゃない最後のパラリ流星はじけたスリーピース遊びましょう
So, Three Piece is from an anime called Asobi Asobase. I am currently watching this with friends, and I begin heading over to their place every Sunday to watch anime or whatever else they decide to pull up. Like, there was this one time they pulled up like a Pawn Star compilation, and we just watched that. But we're also watching Gachiakuta while airing, but we'll come back to that another time. It airs every Sunday, or at least a new episode comes out every Sunday. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyways, I was told by my friends that this show was very, very funny, and it just according to them, it just randomly showed up, and they just wanted to check it out. So after we finished the newest episode of Gachikuta last Sunday, they took me hostage and forced Asobe onto my eyes. Now, you might be wondering, with all that said, am I going to avoid talking about the plot? Well, no, but I'll try to stall. but I think I better address it right now. So, the show revolves around three female students. Two friends named Olivia and Hanako are playing a game called Look the Other Way. Essentially, one player points to the left or right, and the other person has to try not to look in the direction that the other player points. If you look, then you lose, right? Olivia and Hanako are playing this with higher stakes. The one who loses gets slapped silly. And because of their loud behavior, a loner named Kasumi becomes annoyed and ends up getting involved in their game. From then on, they become friends and they form a pastime club where, they just pass time. They just do silly stuff like in their little club. Now that sounds very, very mundane. Why would I even recommend something that I'm currently watching? Well, that's because the show is absolutely insane. Trust me, this anime baits you thinking it's like some kind of cute show about three friends just hanging out. While that is the core concept, what they do can be described as surreal, like as anything but pastimes. The anime does so much with facial expressions, especially with Hanako. Honestly, you don't know what the show is going to throw at you until you see it in action. It's so hard to describe what goes on because what they do is like completely normal for the most part, but then like they just throw you a curveball. But that's not everything. Each episode has about like 3 to 4 mini episodes in them. You can kind of think of them as skits, typically centered around one thing that the girls are doing, and then it carries over to this next segment to whatever catches their eye. The episodes are episodic, but some things do carry over from episode to episode. This show is really good at keeping your attention. I feel like it's supposed to be like an anime that kind of parodies other anime, and honestly, I think that's the best way I could describe it. Although, obviously, it was adapted from like I think a manga. I think it was a manga at first, or maybe a line up. I'm not sure. I didn't look into that, but you know, it essentially parodies other stories because there are like I think in the first episode there was like a quote unquote touching moment where like you know it usually happens when like you know characters in anime fight like you know like there was like a problem you know they fight but then like you know they make up by the end of the episode like I said these segments are like 5 minutes long so there's just like no. I'm pretty sure it was poking fun at that kind of trope that goes on in anime. But yeah, no, very very good anime to watch. It's only one season, which is unfortunate because what I've seen so far is extremely funny. You know, I laughed in other animes, but you know, obviously this anime is actually meant to be funny, and it does that pretty well. So, if you're looking for an absolutely insane anime, then I highly recommend Asobi Asobase. And you know, it got a lot of laughs on me. It subverted my expectations very, very well. If you want to watch something actually funny, something incredibly creative, then absolutely check out this anime. Because like that song I just played, right? That's meant to be like a bait, because it sounds so like generic, right? It sounds very like something you see from like a actual slice of life anime, right? But then it throws you like the most absolutely craziest things that you will ever see in like an anime. Oh man, definitely do watch the intro if at least you you know want to I guess like dip your toes in, you know. But anyways, coming up next on Eastern Sound we have My Soul Your Beats, DEADPOOL, Monster, and Oniniinunami here on WECS 90.1 FM.
「 えた気がした感じた気がしたんだ震え出す今この胸でも来る気がした幾千の朝を越え新しい日が待ってる気がした呼んでる気がしたんだ震えてるこの魂が見つけた気がした幾億の夢のように消される日を見送った手を振ったありがとうとブレイク私何もしてないのですが気に障るようなことしちゃった何度目だかわからないまた着火また着火焦げてるアナグラム必要に徐々早く飛ばして星空わからない答えも見えなかったねえまだ寝ないんですか私眠いんですかお元気でさよならまた明日こんな熱帯熱帯熱帯の夜決体決体な私絶対絶対絶対見られているあなたに後ろも振り返れない作詞もそう残されていない暗い水面へ逃げろ先にいたいまだ歌わないで手帳まだ行かないで不健康パラってあとはどうにかしてよね Die for you なんて嘘追いかけるのもやめて地べた愛して I want to しよう延滞金払ってまで見たかった早く聞いてこの道が正しい方でこの道が正しい方でねえ早く逃げ出さないとこんな熱帯熱帯熱帯の夜決体決体な私絶対絶対絶対見られているあなたに後ろも振り返 僕の目は何色なんだ震えるこの手はいろんなもの全部欲しがってるなんてさ滑稽だろうそうさ僕らも泣き続けてゆくモンスター目に見えるもの全て望むんだためらう暇なんてないからそして空を明かす月の明かりの下羽もないのに飛ぼうとするんだどんなものも犠牲にしてそっと離した君の手をさ今もどこかで温かいと自分に聞かせるこの声は怯えてるんだ体にこぼれた影は息を吐いてひとときの隙に赤く染めたそうさ僕らも泣き続けてゆくモンスター触れる全て壊してしまうんだ振り返る余地なんてないからそして淡く焼ける東の空の下描く幻想に酔いしれるんだ胸の奥嘘隠して不安に噛みつかれたこの足はそれでも進むことをやめはしない太陽と月が重なり影を落としてもそうさ僕らと求めてゆくモンスター意味もわからずにただ向かうんだ歯向かすでさえ知らないからそして空を明かす月の明かりの下いつか羽ばたけると夢見るんだ全てこたす暁へ迷いなんて見当たりはしない「 私が一つ早く早く冷めてしまえ恋敵の心ずりな人私だけだよ誰もあなたを許しちゃいないよ永遠にあなたの横に私がいるから帰りを待つ鬼が来ても愛してあげる
Eastern Sound is a recorded broadcast that gets uploaded onto YouTube. If you would like to listen to previous broadcasts last semester or even previous broadcasts this semester, then please head over onto the Eastern Sound YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Eastern Sound. Once again, that is youtube.com/@Eastern Sound. So instead of talking about Demon Slayer like I have been for over the last two broadcasts, I'm going to talk about another anime I've mentioned before. I finally began to watch in the second season of Sakamoto Days. Well, if you want to be technical about it, it's season 1, part 2. I honestly don't know why that's a thing. Just call it season 2. The first time I heard, season X, part X, was in Attack on Titan. Like, especially with the final season, where it was like final season part 1, final season part 2. I never really understood that. Just call it his own separate thing. I think like they made like a movie with that kind of with that like tagline where it's like the final season, but then like there's like another thing immediately after that. So I don't know. I feel like that really isn't a season. It's more like a separate thing. I don't know. Like I think that's just really weird and kind of like janky. But anyways, enough about that. I watched the entire thing over the course of 2 days. I think it was like 11 episodes. And I gotta say though, I think there's been some rough edges on season 1, part 2 so far on Sakamoto Days. But I don't know what it is. But I think in terms of like pacing, is a bit like taking a sharp turn. Don't get me wrong, I still really love what I was watching, but there's stuff that kind of threw me off. Sorry about that. Regardless, the animation is still pretty good, and the comedy is still there. Lou is still my favorite character there by far, and especially what happened in the second episode. I think it happened in the second episode at least. I gotta say, I think there is definitely a tonal shift between season 1 and season. I was gonna call it season 2. Season 1, season 2, where it's like. Like the first season felt a bit more episodic, where like each episode was kind of a contended into its own thing. It was kind of like a character of the day kind of thing. But in season 2 so far it's definitely more following a storyline, which I really don't mind. Right, I think season 1 kind of sets that up pretty well. But I think with like season 1, I was expecting more of that in season 2. But like I understand what they're trying to go for, and I think it definitely could pay off pretty well. But what I liked about the show is it kind of incorporated similar like how should I say a similar storytelling method to Cowboy Bebop, right? Where Cowboy Bebop was episodic, but it did have his own storyline that was kind of sprinkled through like the episodes, right? Where like. You can essentially start like in any moment of Cowboy Bebop but still and like be relatively okay. And I think Sakamoto Days had like a pretty good formula when it came to that. Where like obviously there's like the canon moments where like Sakamoto meets his wife. That's still a thing, right? Or like where he meets old friends. And people remembering like what happened like in the previous episode and stuff like that. I think that's fine, right? I think I wanted more of that before we got into like the more like storyline stuff, but it's still a pretty good show. I do like the new characters that they introduced. I'm pretty terrible at remembering names, but it was like a blue hair girl. I like her. I think she's pretty cool. Anyways, that's what I've been watching lately. The Demon Slayer movie released last weekend, and I'm going to watch it this Saturday with friends. Asobi's absolutely nuts, but I already talked about that. And I think after I think maybe after, well, I already finished Sakamoto Days. I was caught up to it. I think I'll watch Free Ring. I know I'm pretty late to the party, but honestly, that's like a normal thing for me. And you know, I love Living Underneath This Rock of Mine, but I know there's like discourse about how it didn't win Anime of the Year, but Solo Leveling did. I watched Solo Leveling and definitely do have my own opinions on it. I think I talked about it last semester though. I think I did, but I don't know. I think Solo Leveling didn't deserve to win Anime of the Year. I think another anime did. Solo Leveling had like a lot of good fights in it, but you know I don't think the story was very put together. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. Coming up next on Eastern Sound, we have Sugarcoat, Papermoon, Renai, Circulation, and a nice throwback from last semester. We're going to review Freiheit for our song analysis here on WECS 90.1 FM.
裸足のままどっか逃げ出したいまだ腑に落ちたいそれでどうしたい息一つさえうまく吸えないでその細い手足ではだるいでしょ常識など忘れさせてあげるゆっくりととメガネを外す呪文満たされないと叫ぶ の。でもそんなんじゃダメ、もうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよ、もっともっと。言葉にすれば消えちゃう関係なら言葉を消せばいいやって思ってた、恐れてた。だけどあれなんか違うかも。千里の道も一歩から石のように硬いそ てみるとよく見えたからさって現状に追いつけないまま明日はさってはきっと見落としてるんだろう今さっきの心情は一瞬だけだから変えられないものになれてゆかダメだ今も消える感覚揺れるもらることを嗅覚ダメだ見える止まる染まる冷たくなってた衝動に気づけないまま動けなくなってた症状に虚しくなったよいつも通りの残像を見逃さないように確かに僕の感覚は忘れてしまう嘘の前に名前をつけてさ明日はさってはもっと愛せるように少し深く考えてしまったようだなしょうもないぜしょうもないぜしょうがないぜほんとしょうもないぜしょうもないぜしょうもないぜしょうがないぜほんとしょうもないぜ確かに僕の感情は儚くてタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラタラ
So that was Freiheit. And just like with the last song I brought for a lyrical analysis, that is Lag Train. You know, remember in the first broadcast of the show, I brought back Lag Train in the vocalist section because I wanted to re-review it. I think it was a good review. But just like that, I want to go through the original notes I had from last time. And again, the point to do this is to make sure that the people who missed out on last semester have a chance to listen to older lyrical analysis, the ones that I did more justice, because I know there's been a few that, like, you know, I didn't do as much justice as I did for like the others. And although it may be up on YouTube, I won't force anyone else to check it out. But anyways, let's dive back into the amazing song by Minami, Freiheit. So let's begin our discussion. Freiheit is a song by the artist Minami, and her songs are like so amazing. They're so good. I did an entire what's it called segment where it was literally just her songs for like the entire first half of like the show. And so like her songs are so good. A lot of her songs have lyrics that you can dissect, come up with your own meaning, and you know, Freiheit is one of them. And it begins with the title of the song actually. Freiheit is a German word that means freedom. And freedom of expression of one's emotion is what this song is all about. So let's start from the beginning. What's for certain is, in the pitch dark, it was cloudy on the way home at 6 p.m. I dressed myself in a little bit of anguish and finally thought that this place, which should be the same as usual, was beautiful. The last few words in particular are more important because Minami, through the way that she dressed in this dark, cloudy day, was able to recognize that, you know, this place that she usually goes to is actually pretty beautiful, even though nothing about it has changed at all. However, in the following lyrics, she also recognizes that she has lost her freedom with expression. I can't even recognize my feelings. I've become so cold. I've become so empty with my emotionless facial expressions. Even if I search for what little words are left, Not even one clever word leaves my mouth. So these lines showcase how she can't find the right words to express herself, and I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to. It's a very human thing to not be able to recognize what you're feeling in an instant, right? Even feeling too much of one emotion can be indescribable. Minami in this song humanizes herself to relate with the listener, and you can hear it through the way she sings her heart out. Now let's skip towards the end of the song. I'll give it a name before I completely forget it. Tomorrow and the day after, so that I can love more. I thought it over a little more deeply. It's hopeless. It's hopeless. It's inevitable. It's really hopeless. She wants to give what she's feeling a name. Like she wants to describe this emotion that she's feeling, so she can't forget what that feeling is. And you know, she finally wants to be able to recognize and love each and every day afterwards. However, she realizes that this might all be hopeless and that none of it matters. And of course, there's one more line in the song, and it reads, "I'm pretty sure my feelings are only momentary." Now, in terms of the lyrics, this is where the song ends. She admits defeats and remains a prisoner of her own self. But at the end of the song, you can hear her repeat a phrase that seems kind of like random or like, you know, weird or nonsensical even. And it goes da 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 da. And while this seems unimportant, it just seems to be just like filler to like keep the song going. You can understand that this is actually a conditional statement in Japanese. Da 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 can mean something along the lines of when, if, but, or you know, so on and so forth. So, for example, when I eat, I'll do my homework, or after I find this, I'll be rich. Right? That's what a conditional statement is. So therefore, when Minami says da 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 da, she is stating a conditional statement, but never finishes her thought. Right? Now, this can mean a number of things, but personally, I think that she does have some hope into being able to fully express her emotions freely. So, if you listen to the ending of the song, it can be interpreted as, I'm pretty sure my feelings are only momentary, but, and it repeats, right? So we can see that there is a condition that she doesn't want to share with us, and what that is, you know, it's up to our imagination. And that was Freiheit by Minami, an absolutely awesome song. I love this song. To understand someone, you have to be patient. To understand someone who cannot express your true emotions, whether positive or negative, you have to show compassion. In order to truly express your own emotions, you don't have to rely on words only. After all, you know, actions speak louder than words. And that was my interpretation at the end of Freiheit. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that song. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, I guess, like rereading of original notes for Freiheit. I really love this song. I think it can speak a lot to like the current generation too. But anyways, coming up next on Eastern Sound is the Vocaloid Hour. We have Drop Pop Candy by Gigareol, Ghost Road by DECO 27, Yuugure Semi Nikki by Mafu Mafu, and Todamo Wonders by Sasakure.uk here on WECS 90.1 FM.
「君の君の君を濡らす」 奪ったように奪われて今日だって叶わない思ったように騙せない腐っている僕には腐ったものがわからないおいでここまではずだ挙動でイエスを声に出す後悔の脆弱は騙しだ方が正義なの人だって構わない祈っておいてそうねはない飾っていた情熱が墓穴を掘って焼けるかなおいでどこまでね望んだら僕じゃない僕に出会ったよそれでも前に進んだのクラクラしちゃうよ夜も足りない僕を愛してよこのままが僕を育てたの君には僕が見えるかな孤独な家のがねえで僕が分かってももう抱きしめなくていいんだよへいねえで僕が分かったらもう一度笑ってくれるかなねえで僕を叱ってよ正直者が夢みたいならへいねえで僕を騒いでよ最後まで甘えてしまうのはねえで僕を甘いでよもう次終わるこの世界からへいねえで僕と踊ってよ最初からいないと分かってた幻だって知るんだよ嘘つきだって知るんだよ透明だって知るんだよ空白だって知るんだよどうだっていいことを嘘って入れ戻れない思考なんてやってこない奪ったように奪われてセミの声が聞こえますか夢を教えてくれますか大体のでも嘘つきだよね君もどこかへうつろうつろとやってば小さな器にあふれてどこか寂しい夢よことがただそれだけのことも揺れる涙に濡れてく回る回る君を囲って吹き出す猫の鳴き声も好きをくれたあの背中さえ君だけを囲んで回る続く続く感情線が終わりの幸せに夢うつつあの日芽生えた感情さえ嘘だらけだけでに消えてゆくそれの音が聞こえるたび君をここから遠ざけるいつの間にか一人きりにも慣れてしまったね人は一人じゃ生きられないのが家族の友達浮き足立つ綺麗な影のもう散々だったよ突然
So, here on Eastern Sound, my main goal here is to play Japanese music, but more specifically, it's to feel what you feel without the lyrics being given to you. I'm not sure how I accomplished that goal so far, but hopefully my lyrical analysis has been a pleasant surprise to connect people to the songs that I have played so far. But anyways, Vocaloid has definitely had this effect on Western culture. For what appeared to be happy songs, turn out to be more serious songs that deals with self harm, life itself, all that, right? Everything else in between. In the early 2010s, Vocaloid truly took off in the West because of how real the songs were, right? There wasn't anything like it. I mean, you had these virtual singers talking about the monotony of everyday life. But because of this renaissance in Western Vocaloid culture, a lot of people became inspired by it and would later use Vocaloid to make their own songs. So where am I going with this? Well, here on Eastern Sound, I wanted to bring over more of the Japanese culture to your ears as well, right? But I think I'd make a mistake if I didn't let you listen to some of Vocaloid's impact on Westerners. So for the very first time on Eastern Sound, I'll play some English music. I mulled over it to see if it's like a good idea or not, considering what the show is supposed to be. But I decided that I wouldn't do this too often, right? Maybe like 2 or 3 times per like semester or something. All I know though is that it's important to showcase how important Vocaloid is to people outside of Japan and not just the U.S., right? So with all that said, allow me to introduce the inaugural English song here on Eastern Sound. Coming up next on Eastern Sound, we have Candle Queen by Ghost and Pals, Echo by Crusher P, Taste the Rain by ippo.tsk, and Aura by Ghost and Pals yet again on WECS 90.1 FM.
Ever since she was a child, she always knew how to get her way. Just act a little bit wild and someone will surely come to play. It's a truth she took to heart, but humility that she didn't come with age. She's born the blade with her toddy, but always center stage. Toddlers raise the ball louder and louder, around singing on festival power, power, branding of black and white, sing the one that only candle queen. Stoking the flames that burn higher and higher, royalty with a crown of fire, setting a blaze and extravagant, sing the one that only candle queen. Adrenaline and always looking for attention. Thought to be so genuine when she suddenly met with apprehension. The fighting has begun and she'd do anything to get ahead, like using deep last ladderums and sweeping itches onto the bed. Toddlers raise the ball louder and louder, relishing in untestable power, power, branding of black and white, seeing the one that only candle queen. Stoking the flames that burn higher and higher, royalty with a crown of fire, setting a blaze and extravagant, seeing the one that only candle queen. But there's hope for you still, before it all comes apart. You just need to chill, it's not the end of the world. She just can't help but be persuaded she lost her true self long ago. Now all her friends have been pushed away because the caricature is all they know. Toddlers raise the ball louder and louder, everyone rushing to their cell phone. Her all alone in a black and white, seeing the one that only candle queen. Heart with the flames that burn higher and higher, touching a broken crown of fire. All alone in a final, seeing the one that only candle queen. What a pity, the candle queen. The clock stops ticking forever ago. How long have I been up? I don't know. I can't bet every, but I can't let go. The walls don't anything to hold on to though. Why can't I see? Why can't I see all the colors that you see? Please can I be? Please can I be colorful and free? Yeah. What the hell's going on? Can someone tell me please? Why I'm switching faster than the channels on TV? I'm black and I'm white. No, something isn't right. My enemies invisible. I don't know how to fight. The trembling channels MTV. I'm mad and I'm white, no, something isn't right. My enemy is invisible, I don't know how to fight. What the hell's going on? Can someone tell me please? Why I'm switching faster than the channels MTV? I'm mad and I'm white, no, something isn't right. My enemy is invisible, I don't know how to fight. The tremble in the fear is more than I can take. And I remember this, the echo in the mirror. The tremble in the fear is more than I can take. And I remember this, the echo in the mirror. Just dawned on you that days like this may have to come to an end. Sooner or later, you'll just have to taste the rain. And look at you looking so hard on everything that's not yourself. You know some clouds that back you up, but they can't also take you down. One too many cycles and the rain will make you realize this ain't the way to be. Now the words go to you when you've already drowned. Ocean streetlights from underneath the waves. So float onto the surface. You're never gonna miss this. Oh well, you tried. I used to breathe in with flower and those lungs. 'Cause in the end, we're all just paying to taste the rain. Now look at you working so hard on this time for nothing but yourself. Do you have something left to prove? Yeah, one too many cycles in the rain will make you realize it's ain't the life for you. And the world protect you when you've already drowned. Unseen streetlights underneath the waves. So float onto the surface. You're never gonna miss this. I was informed of your application. I have read through your application. I have submitted my application. Now I will wait for my application. I was informed of your application. I have read through your application. I have submitted my application. I will have fear. I am the one to measure cycles in the rain will make you realize this ain't the way to be.
Hoshimachi. Surfacing beneath my lace, a game of cards went on for days. Escalated, fuck disease, they've fallen to their knees. Wait your turn, there's something still inside. Out of thousands gathered, asking how and why. God and take the unexplained, form the semblance of the normalcy and took it to their brains. Watch, perhaps forgotten, a group preserved throughout the years, repainted in a praise. Some fast, we're holding hands at long last. Fortified by age-old condolences, guards of the northern lights, God give us clearer skies. Open-eyed, entangled in promises, furthering the questions asked, hands tied behind our backs, their fangs behind a mask. Supreme minders swarm the prey, she swallowed whole another day, taking in the world to play. It's brighter than the sun. Reprimands it in the brew behind the show, a better view. Aggravated, fuck disease, collapsing to their knees. Wait your turn, there's something still inside. Out of thousands gathered, asking how and why. Who's to win? Is it mundane? Maybe tangible by needlework. They're desperate for a name. Burned, a language unlearned. The arbitrary colors of a variegated disarray. Fortified by age-old condolences, guards of the northern lights, God give us clearer skies. Open-eyed, entangled in promises, furthering the questions asked, hands tied behind our backs, their fangs behind a mask. Tell me when the fog will subside. Please tell me when the fog will subside. Poorly held together condolences, drowning out the northern lights. Game or fold advice. Open-eyed, entangled in promises, buried under dying homes, hands tied in golden thorns, undefined by guesswork analogies, documenting daily life. Tell me I'll be alright. Open-eyed, entangled in absentees, stories of a child's past, a taxi, broken glass, my aura shines at last.
Welcome back. I hope they didn't throw you fellas for a loop there. Though they're in English, all these songs I just played were Vocaloid. They don't sound half bad in English, huh? As I mentioned on previous broadcasts, Vocaloids come with voice banks and language settings, so some Vocaloids like Gumi, though she isn't a true Vocaloid, can be tuned into English. Gumi and Teto are probably the most two popular non-Vocaloids, though I didn't play an English Teto song here, which actually I'm kind of surprised it didn't. I think out of all the English songs I played just now, I think Taste the Rain is definitely my favorite one of the bunch. I think everything crafted behind it is almost perfect. not only that, but if you look up the video, the illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. I really recommend looking this video up. Is Taste the Rain. That being said, they're having more intention to solidify Vocaloid into Western cultures. Many song covers in English have popped up for Vocaloid music, so I also want to showcase. I'm sorry, English covers on Eastern Sound too. With that said, I'm gonna do something a little special for our last 4 songs. I'll play both the original song, the original Vocaloid song, and a well-known cover of that song. I think the idea is having you fellas listen to the original, take it in and digest it, and then listen to the English, which will be pretty fun. Also, I just realized that I didn't mention this, but Taste the Rain, although the singer is like a Vocaloid kind of thing, that's also not actually a Vocaloid. That's a synth or something like that. I don't know too much about synthes, but they are not Vocaloids. But they're part of the Vocaloid community anyways, right? But anyways, with all that said, it was technical stuff. Let's end off with the original Monitoring by DECO 27 and the Monitoring cover by Reichi. And for our last 2 songs, we'll end it with My R by Courage P and the cover by Anna Pensu that also features Reichi, coming up on Eastern Sound WECS 90.1 FM.
'Cause your mind and body free.
私浴場で靴抜きかけた時に水網の先客に取っ手をかけてしまったねえやめなよ口もついててただけ本当はどうでもよかった先を越さねるのかなんとなく尺だった三つ編みの子は語るどっかで聞いたようなこと運命の人だったどうしても愛されたかったふざけんなそんなことくらいで私の先をこそうだなんて欲しいもんが手に入らないなんて奪われたことすらないくせに話が長くになったって三つ編みの子は消えてた今日こそは洞窟抜きかけたらそこに背の低い女の子また取っ手をかけてしまった背の低い子は語るクラスでの孤独を無視されて奪われて居場所がないんだってふざけんなそんなことくらいで私の先をこそうだなんてそれでも口では愛されて温かいご飯もあるでしょお腹が空いたと泣いて背の低い子は消えてたそうやって何かに声をかけてお見返して私自身の痛みは誰にも言えないまま初めて見つけたんだ似たような悩みの子何人目かにあったんだ黄色いカーディガンの子家に帰るたびに振って続けるあざとねじ去ってしまうためここに来たのと言った口をついててただけ本当はどうでもよかった思ってもいないことでも取っ手をかけてしまったねえやめてよあどうしようこの子は止められない私には止める資格がないそれでもここからは消えてよ君を見ていると苦しいんだじゃあ今日はやめておくよって目を伏せたまま消えてたここそまだ眠くない私一人だけ誰にも邪魔されない邪魔してはくれないカーディガンは抜いて三つ編みはほどいて背の低い私は今から飛びます
Just as I was about to take my shoes off of the rooftop, there I see a girl with braided hair here before me. Despite myself, I go and scream, hey, don't do it, please. Well, wait a minute, what did I just say? I couldn't care less either way. To be honest, I was somewhat pissed. This was an opportunity missed. The girl with braided hair told me her woes. You've probably heard it all before.
I really thought that he might be the one but then he told me he was done
For God's sakes, please, are you serious? I just can't believe that for some stupid reason you got here before me. Are you upset? 'Cause you can't have what you wanted. You're lucky that you've never gotten robbed of anything.
I'm feeling very picky for listening
The girl with braided hair then disappeared. Alright, today's a day or so, I thought. Just as I took both of my shoes off, there was but a girl short as can be. Despite myself, I go and scream. The petite girl told me her woes. You've probably heard it all before.
Everyone ignores me, everyone steals I don't fit in with anyone here
For God's sakes, please. was me, having done this time and time again. She wore a yellow cardigan. I just wanna stop the scars that grow every time that I go home. That's why I came up here instead. That's what the girl in the cardigan said. Whoa, wait a minute, what did I just say? I couldn't care less either way. But in the moment I just screamed something that I could not believe. Hey, don't do it, please. I want to do. I can't stop this girl. Oh, this is new. For once I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. But even so, please just go away so I can see her pitiful expression is just too much for me. I guess today is just not my day. She looked away from me and then she disappeared. There's no one here today, I guess it's time. It's just me, myself, and I. There's no one who can interfere. No one to get in my way here. Taking off my yellow cardigan. Watching my braids all come undone. This petite girl, short as can be, is gonna jump now and be free.
Welcome back, listeners. I hope you all enjoyed that segment. Now, in terms of reviewing songs, looks like Eastern Sound's going to have another first, reviewing 2 songs at once. Ooh. Now, to be fair, they are mostly the same songs, and I know that English covers will often change up the lyrics a bit, but in terms of my R, a lot of the lyrics remain intact. And the reason why they do this is so they can so that English covers can have the same flow as the original songs, right? Because with the Japanese language, you know, the words are different, you know, the syllables are different. So obviously you need to make some changes, and you know, for the most part, they keep the integrity of the song the same, right? Like they still have the same sort of messages, same sort of lyrics, right? Although you all just listen to the song itself and can figure out what the lyrics mean, I still think it would be interesting to do a song analysis anyways to see how we can compare with both versions of My R. I'll mostly focus on the English version as that's the ones that, you know, that we can understand. But as I said, I will include some lyrics from the original as well. So with all that said, let's start from the intro. Just as I was about to take my shoes off on the rooftop, there I see a girl with braided hair heave before me. Despite myself, I go and scream, "Hey, don't do it, please." So already we have an idea of what's going on here from just these few words. The singer came to the rooftop to jump off of it, right? But notice there's another girl about to do the same thing, and despite being a hypocrite, she tells the other girl to stop. I think this intro is a strong one because it just sets up on how the song is going to be and a possible payoff at the end. So let's keep going. Well, wait a minute, what did I just say? I couldn't care less either way. To be honest, I was somewhat pissed. This was an opportunity missed. The girl with braided hair told me her woes. You probably heard it all before. I really thought that he might be the one, but then he told me he was done, right? And so I wanted to know that this version of My R, the one covered by Anna Pantsu, has much more direct or rather blunt lyrics. For example, the lines, I couldn't care less either way, to be honest, I was somewhat pissed, right? It's more emotionally charged than the original one, which goes, it didn't really matter anyway. She got there ahead of me for some reason or another. I found it annoying, right? Like I said before, it doesn't make too much of a difference in general, but the tones of the song feel different for sure. Anna's kind of singing from the heart, and Miku, yes, this was a Miku song, feels as though she's going through the motion, like as if this is just like another day for her, right? Another example of Anna using more stronger words is when she uses stupid reason instead of Miku, who uses flimsy reason. I will say this though, I'm pretty like you know, like I said before, that the lyrics are, you know, changed around just to, you know, keep up with the tone of the song, keep up with the pace of the song, right, of the original song. There's also another comparison that also changes the foreshadowing between the songs. When Anna sings, you've probably heard it all before. The original actually says, I felt as if I heard something just like that before. The original implies early on that Miku's talking to the manifestations / hallucinations of her own sadness, right? This contrasts to the later reveal in Anna's version, where it's clear that she was the one that was wearing the yellow cardigan. Again, the message is the same no matter what lyrics you go off of, but it's notable enough to mention. Let's jump towards the end. Miku / Anna confronts the cardigan version of herself. I just want to stop the scars that grow every time that I go home. That's why I came up here instead. Anna's mention of the scars is different from what the original says. I came here with the goal of completely erasing the bruises that continue to mount every time I return home. So here Anna's version implies self-harm, but with the original it's a bit more open-ended. While I might reference self-harm as well, you can also conclude that it's from a difficult home life as well. I think in this instance with Karaji P's original version, it's easier to put yourself into Miku's shoes with what she's going through based off how open-ended it is with what she deals with. With all that said, though, it ends up with the same way in both songs with both characters ending up jumping off the roof. Now, this was a heavy song with heavy topics, but I need to note something. When it came to Vocaloid songs with darker themes, there was a community of people who were going through similar things within the songs, and that includes My R, right? It is my personal opinion that songs like My R were made to unite people who were going through hard times. It's sort of like a vent song in a way. Songs like these don't glorify or push you to do bad things yourself. My firm belief is that they don't want you to be alone during hard times, and if you had no one, you at least had a song that could bring you some sense of comfort. So for those of you out there dealing with nearly unbearable darkness, you aren't alone even if you think you are. There's always a person or even a virtual idol for you, waiting for you. If there's someone listening to this that needs help, then I hope that Eastern Sound brought forth some sort of joy to you. Please take care of yourself. But with all that said, that's the end of today's show. I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. And if you want to listen to previous broadcasts or find out the titles of the song I just played, then head on over to youtube.com/@EasternSound. I will be uploading everything onto that channel, so feel free to check it out. Every single song I play will be in the description of their respective videos. So if you liked the song for earlier but didn't catch the name, then please check out tonight's upload. This has been Toe Jam. That's TOLL, not TOE. Signing off on WECS 90.1 FM. I'll see y'all same time, same day next week. Until then, take care.